First of all, we're going to be talking about Souza from Santos. According to Bruno Andrade, who's a very reliable journalist in Brazil, he says Tottenham have signalled a new offer worth 15 million euros for Souza and are optimistic that a deal will be completed soon due to the progress in negotiations. The player himself has now asked the coaching staff not to be selected for this weekend's match. So this one seems to be on its way. It all looks like it's about Tottenham agreeing a deal. He is a left back. He's only played 24 games in the top tier of Brazil. He's 19 years of age, known as an athletic left back who can get very far up the pitch. He's got a good left foot, good at crossing, but is still at 19 fairly raw. Obviously, it looks like we're signing him as an alternative to Destiny Udogie. Souza, Brian, obviously I'm assuming you haven't seen much of him, but when I tell you a 19-year-old who's only played 24 games is going to be our, in the first team at left back, what does that tell you?
It tells me that nothing's changed. You look at this. I think I said this when I was with Ben. It's all well and good signing a 19-year-old, and we'll probably be told and shown YouTube videos showing he'll be the next Roberto Carlos. Mm-hmm. But when you've got your left back in Destiny Udogie, who, when he's fit and on form, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. We saw the balance he had when he's there. But when you've got a left back who is consistently injured, do you go, right, Destiny is our number one left back, but we can't trust him. We need a new number one left back. And you go and do the right thing and spend money on the right player? Or do you go buy a 19-year-old from South America that's only played 24 games and put all the pressure on him? It's just, do you know what? It's the Carl Walker thing all over again. Carl Walker, we sold for 50 million. We spent over 120 till we got to Porro. Because we went cheap and we didn't address losing a key, vital player on par with Neville for the best right back the Premier League's ever seen. And we replace it with players that are nowhere near the potential. You look at it, have we replaced Danny Rose?
Well, Doggy was supposed to be.
But he cannot stay fit.
I really like Doggy.
I'm a massive fan of his, but the sad reality is, and this is what we've got to start doing, and it's what I've been doing, there's no sentimentality with me and these players anymore. Whether I love them or not, as a football manager and as a football team, your number one left back, who on his day is fantastic, but you get about 5 or 6 days of him because he is consistently injured. When do you say, yep, you are brilliant when you're available, but going forward, we cannot trust you to be available. So we are going to go sign a ready-made number one left back and you're going to have to fight for your... And then that's the high standards. Mm-hmm. But we'll go, right, you're consistently injured. We're not going to address it and try and get a player that we can depend on. What we are going to do is we're going to go to a 19-year-old Brazilian who nobody has heard of. I haven't seen a minute of him. I haven't seen a second of him.
He's only played 25 games.
Well, I've missed every single second of them. And I hadn't even heard of him until, lo and behold,
Tottenham
Hotspur.
But on a flip side, Brighton signed those players all the time, and they seem to make it work.
But Brighton are tried and tested with it. So there you go. You want to look at Brighton, you want to look at Bournemouth, they consistently get it right.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Well, you could say Bergvall, Udogie, Sarr, in terms of the quality.
Look, see, this is where we've got to go.
The youngsters have been good.
No, this is where we've got to go. See, this is... Sarr, right now, had dropped off. And if we're setting our high standards at Tottenham Hotspur going, Sarr is the answer. As much as I said, no sentimentality, we need a lot better than Pape Matar Sarr. A lot better. Yes, he's a good squad player. Yes, he's a team player. Yes, when he, like the start of the season, was terrific. But this is what's happened with this football club. It's like, okay, but Pape Matar Sarr, does he start in any of the big six? Sorry, any of the big five or Champions League?
No.
Does Lucas Bergvall?
No.
Does Destiny Udogie?
When fit, I would say yes.
But look at those big cities. When they've got a player like that, what do they go and do? They address it. But this is where we're at. Whereas I think Sarr can be a good player and a very good team player, this is where I think we're, as a club,
my point being we've signed these players and they're not been bad.
But they haven't been brilliant. They've not been Brighton level. I mean, Bergvall, I'll take out of it because it's his second season.
Gray,
I think, but this thing, Gray, I think can go on to be a good player. I really, really do. But we're pinning everything on these youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than we can get an upgrade on Bentancur easily. This is the thing, but because of where we are, we've set these standards that Sarr is I think it's going to be great when Sarr returns. When Lucas Bergvall's back, everything's to be. It's not. Bergvall, I believe, can go on to be an exceptional talent, but we need people around him that are of huge quality to help elevate him.
No, I agree with that. But my point just being the recruitment of our youngsters recently, we've gotten some good players there. It's not like we just signed rubbish or players who just aren't not necessarily not good enough.
Yeah, I don't dispute that they're good, but are they good enough to get Spurs?
Are they immediately starters?
Exactly.
Who come in and raise the level?
Exactly.
No. I mean, and your point would be for Brighton and
But they always come in
and
they just get the job. Right, like I said, Bournemouth lost their.
Maybe they're more trusted in those clubs at Tottenham. They're not.
Or maybe recruitment is also spoken about with the manager.
Mm.
We had it with AVB when AVB wanted his people for Bow, and then Baldini and Levy said, "We bring in the players, you coach them." You look at Paul Mitchell, who wanted to go somewhere, and obviously wasn't listened to. Do you think Paratici would have signed Galini's, Royale's, Rodon? Not Rodon, but players of that ilk if he was at any other club?
Mm-hmm.
The recruitment at this football club is shambolic, and Bournemouth and Brighton do it consistently. Every single time they lose a player. Look where they lost Bissouma to us.
Caicedo. Lost Caicedo. Baleba.
That's just one position we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one position. And I guarantee you Bournemouth will find the right answer to Semenyo, and by the end of the season or this time next year,
probably want their replacement.
We'll be talking about, oh my God, this guy, how did Bournemouth find them?
So you're saying our recruitment is just not up to standard in that sense, so we go for more known players because that's what we can trust.
Yeah. Listen, I've always said it, I've got no problem signing youngsters. But if you look at it when Liverpool do it, or others, for every youngster they sign in, like when they signed Harvey Elliott, they'll go and sign 3 or 4 established. But at Tottenham, we'll sign 1 established and go and sign 2, 3 youngsters. And then you look at it for the people like my boy Alfie Devine, Mikey Moore, Jamie Donnelly. The only one you can see actually breaking through is Luka Viskovic right now. That's the only one you can say he's ready to go, he's going to be a diamond. The rest of them, it's like, well, we don't know. And then you're still signing youngsters to make their chance even more from this world-class training academy and youth academy. So the recruitment, we have got to go and sign players that fit the profile of the position we need and have done it, not potentially can do it.
Well, get ready for... one sec. Apparently Romano's just done an update. Get ready for... It looks like a 19-year-old coming in because... Well, he's just done an update. Tottenham have agreed personal terms with Brazilian left-back Souza ahead of a potential move. Negotiations underway with Santos as new bids is anticipated soon. Details are still missing. So it looks like this one is definitely heating up with Souza.
Yippee.
And we... Look, I guess on the positive side, we're going to get some support for Doggy, hopefully. And we're going to get a left footer on that side. And if he is good... That would turn out good, I guess. And we are getting a signing, it looks like, albeit not the signing
we've done well. We've done well, Brazilian fullbacks, haven't we? Emerson and Gilberto.
Oh, Gilberto was horrendous. All right, so that's the update with Souza. Looks like he is coming in. Next up, we're going to talk about Dragusin. DiMarzio reporting Roma insists on signing the centre-back, and there have been new contacts to understand the figures of the operation. Roma looking like they're interested in getting Dragusin in. Would you be open to letting him go on a loan or permanent right now? Is it too risky?
I wouldn't permanently. I wouldn't. Well, I say that, but I thought he was going to be the perfect defender for Frank. Obviously, Romero and Van der Ven are his top two, and obvious reasons why, and I love Danso. He's just coming back off a Q injury. He's going to want to get minutes for Romania, so he's fit for Romania, isn't he? It's always going to be Italy. I can understand why this is happening, but again, we're getting players out the door rather than dealing with it. Look, I don't think central defence is a major worry for us at the moment. There is cover. But if Danso or one of them pick up an injury, we're back to where we started, because Takai's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Takai's gone, so... But I understand he probably wants minutes to force it, or he probably will get picked for Romania, won't he? But yeah, I wouldn't sell him. Put it that way, I wouldn't sell him.
Yeah, I think a loan deal makes sense. He has come back from a big injury, so he just needs that time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
To get back to full fitness and get back to his best. And maybe it's better doing that at another club than doing it at Tottenham, just because we won't have to deal with that development, but his recovery and obviously he's inevitably not going to be his best. He's going to be rusty and all that kind of stuff. And if he does at another club and comes back to Tottenham fully ready to go, it's probably a benefit for us.
Yeah.
But then does it leave us short? Probably. I guess you could say if we sign Souza, you let go Dragusin, you maybe say Davis is a centre-back. And then you've got Davis, Danso, Van der Ven, Romero. So as much as not perfect, it's something.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I mean, let's face it, Danso, I think Davis would be picked in central defence on an emergency basis only. So I think it would be Romero or VDV out and Danso and Danso. I mean, there'll be like two of them out for a game, and there'll be no alternatives. But I just can't see where Dragusin's going to get minutes, because it's always Danso that comes on, and rightfully so. I just can't see where he gets the minutes. So also you look at it, if he gets these minutes, does well for Roma, does well for Romania. If Spurs decide to cash in, then his fee will obviously go up a bit, because he's had a lot of game time. So if it's always going to be Italy with Dragusin, wasn't it? There's going to be no other country apart from Italy, and it looks like Roma are ahead of the queue. And
a little fitness update on Solanke and Udogie from Frank. He said both of them are getting closer. Udogie a bit closer than Dom, obviously because he's only been out for 5 weeks, so that's of course less than 6 months. But both are positive and improving. So hopefully Udogie and Solanke not too far away, which is some positivity.
Yeah. Mate, until they're in the starting lineup, I don't trust anything that's coming out of this club.
Okay. Well, that I think I don't disagree with that. Well, that is okay. One more is Oliver Irow has joined League One side Mansfield on loan for the remainder of the season. He's a much talked about young forward in the academy who's scored a few goals this season for the Premier League under 23s, Premier League 2, sorry. And Mansfield, I believe, are in League 2. So it's a good move for him, and hopefully get some good experience, and we'll see how he gets on. League 1, sorry, they're 11th in League 1, so that's a pretty good move, I would say, for him.
Okay, it's good for him to go get first team minutes. Do you know what? We've had a good track record with youngsters going out to League 1 and League 2, and hopefully he will be another one.